Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, so this video is going to be, it's not going to be a typical video either, like the last one. It's going to be just generally what's been going on in the world and something that has been on my mind. Okay, so I've got a kind of a mixed set of feelings here that I want to express and share with you, and it's what's going on in the world. I'm sure you've heard of it already. So the first part, I want to start out with a good part. One thing that's really kind of alleviated my I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say it's kind of sad, kind of almost hopeless feeling that I've had lately. Is the thing that's really made me happy is the Iranian people. They are so happy. It is just the most beautiful thing in the world to see. And there's something that came about that really caught me off guard. Since I was a little child, even up to this day, all I've ever heard from people from other countries was F America, screw America, Americans this, just negative. I honestly can't think of a single time when I've heard anyone from another country say something positive about America or American people or the American president. And the Iranians have just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just come bursting out, out of the gates, just praising Donald Trump, thanking America, thanking Americans. And you have no idea how good that makes me feel. How I think a lot of Americans, it's like we're not used to hearing that. One of the negative things about the NLP trainings that I took, now these are long, like 2-week, 3-week, 5-week trainings, is the people from all over the world, whether it was the UK, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, I never heard one positive thing about America. All they said was, "Oh, you Americans this," and it was just nothing but negativity. And I have to tell you, it really hurt, because here I am in my own country surrounded by people from other countries, and I had to bite my tongue and I had to just listen to it, and it really, really hurt. So hearing the Iranians say this, it's really it's weird because it caught me off guard. At one video, I was crying and I didn't know why I was crying. I realized it's because people were saying such kind things about our country. So whether it reaches any of you or not, I want to say thank you very, very much. From an American, you have no idea how much that means. You know what I think it was? It was the intensity, with the passion, with the heartfelt. It was really heartfelt. It was really meaningful. Another thing that I find interesting about this whole thing, I'm going to make a shift here. It's going to be kind of flip-flopping. Is when I was a little kid, I remember before I went to kindergarten or first grade, we had this little playroom right next to the boys' room downstairs, and we had our television, couch, and it was our own little room. And the television was always on for some reason. I was there early in the morning, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. You always saw the jet fighter, pilots or jet fighter jets from Iran or Iraq or Israel bombing each other and killing each other, and then the Israelis, going into the territory, the Palestinian territory, the bulldozers going through, and then there was the Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter. He made peace. At least they made a peace agreement, and I think it lasted a month or something. I don't even think it was maybe 6 months, but it wasn't very long. And all of a sudden they're bombing each other again. And I really thought, well, we'll get past this. Now I'm a little kid. I was a little kid, 4 years old. I knew exactly what they were doing to each other. In 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and it's the same thing, and it just never stopped. Then I started to understand the whole peace in the Middle East thing. It's like it's impossible, but it's kind of interesting. The way things are unfolding, it looks like it may actually become a possibility. All right, before I move on to the next subject, here's kind of an interesting thing. Here we are bombing Iran, and the Iranian people are celebrating and saying "Thank you, America." And I'm like, it's. I understand why. I totally understand why they're so happy, but it's such a weird thing. Like you're thanking the country that's bombing your country. It's kind of an odd thing. Okay, so this is really what this video is about. Okay, so in the United States, I don't know where you guys are at, but our government, our Congress, I guess you would call it, is they voted. Let's see the numbers, exact numbers. Let me get them. Hold on. Let's see where. Yeah, 357 to 65 to block the public release of the sexual misconduct reports involving members of Congress. So they officially blocked it, said, no, we're not going to let you see that. So they voted to protect themselves, and I think that's rather upsetting. And once again, no one on my page is even talking about, like, on my Facebook page, I mean, my friends, like, and these are all Christian Republicans, like, it's like nobody gives a shit. It is the weirdest thing in the world. So I'm going to be really honest with you. I'm kind of, the way I sound now sounds a lot better than what I feel inside. The reason why I made this video is because I was so upset, but I thought, no, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm just going to be like, hey, this is just matter of fact. Alright, so let me read something off here, and then I'm going to add something to it. So here's this someone named Terrence K. Williams on Facebook. I'm not following him, but for some reason he always pops up on my page. Here's what he wrote. Something doesn't add up about this. Now he's talking about the 357 votes against 65, which successfully blocked the public release of the misconduct. So what you have to understand is essentially they protected themselves from getting arrested and going to jail. They voted on it. Like, that just seems a little odd, you know. But that's the way it is. So let me finish what he said. So he goes, the same members of Congress who are constantly screaming about Donald Trump and the Epstein list just voted 357 to 65 to block the public release of sexual misconduct reports involving members of Congress. Think about that. They say they care about victims. They say they want transparency. They say they want the truth exposed, but when it comes to releasing files about allegations involving members of Congress themselves, they voted to keep those records secret. So it goes on to say, the vote was bipartisan. 182 Democrats and 175 Republicans voted to send the measure to the Ethics Committee, a move widely seen as a way to kill the effort. So bipartisan simply means it was a fairly equal vote, both left and right. It says only 65 members voted against blocking it. So here's a fair question. If they truly care about victims' accountability, why vote to hide the files? So at this point, I have really, what's the word I want to say here? I've lost all faith in our governmental system. I know they're cleaning house right now, and it's going to be more cleaning, but right now I have no faith in our government. I just think it's a crock of BS. Now, there are the 65 members who did vote to release it, and so those are going to be the good people. Now, only because I've only seen this one video, I'm not picking sides here. It's an example of the overall hypocrisy. Okay, what do they call her? AOC? Or I can't remember her name. Okay, I found it. So AOC, she's a member of Congress or senator. So AOC stands for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, again, I'm not picking on her. It's just she came out in a video, I was going to say today, but technically it's yesterday, after this vote, and she said, oh, well, you know, the Republicans, they're just blocking this, you know, from these files from being released, and they're voting against it. And guess what? She was one of the people that just literally voted against it in the last 24 to 36 hours or however long it's been. And this is my point, and it's not just her, it's other people too. So you come out publicly on national television while you're being interviewed saying, oh, I can't believe they're voting against it, and yet you voted against it. So she's using the words transparency and open and release the files, and the Republicans aren't, and the Republicans aren't doing it yet. She didn't do it either. She voted against releasing them. She voted to block the release. Okay, so let me kind of add a little something that I'm personally going through, and you guys may have heard it on a video about a week or two ago. I just had surgery, and I'm in pain, and I'm taking pain pills, but I'm supposed to be taking 6 a day. Now I'm taking 1 a day because I don't like to be drugged up. I even took 4 days where I took no pills. I just dealt with the pain. So this is why I'm kind of keeping this video mellow, because I'll be honest with you, I've been really kind of down about everything right now, except for the Iranian people and what's going on over there. That's just an amazing. That is a one positive for me. But this other thing, I'm really like, I'm let down about it. I'm just like, I don't know what the words are. I'm just stunned. I don't have the right, it's almost like a lost emptiness when it comes to this issue. So I don't really want to get too intense about it. Because before this I was quite intense, and it has me upset. And so even though I've kind of cleaned my system, I'm drinking a ton of water. I am going for super long walks. We're talking like 4 to 8 miles every other day or so. But I'm just really upset about this, and it's shocking to me. So one of the words I'd use is pretty much hopeless at this point when it comes to this. It's just like, it's unbelievable. And the other thing that really has me shocked is the American people no one gives a shit. It's you get a super small percent of people that are upset about this and that are voicing it, where it's the majority of people, they don't respond. They don't care. It's as if, well, hey, Mike, I got to watch the football game on Sunday night. It's like, okay, what about this over here? What about it? Like, they don't care. Now, there's another person. I really don't want to give too much information about this person. Well, here's essentially, I posted a couple things about, hey, what's going on? How come no one's talking about it? And she posted on her page, I don't want to hear anything about this Epstein list anymore, blah, 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 blah. And she came over to my page, and she had said, how did she say it? Because one of the things I posted was what a lot of people don't understand, the only thing they released was the redacted files. Redacted is when they literally black out names and even things that happened. So they've blocked out a lot of the things that of people's names that weren't released to the public like they said they were going to do, what they did, who they did it with, what happened. So these are the redacted files. These are not the full files. So here comes along Christian Republican, like, oh, well, you wouldn't want that anyways. I'm like, oh, what? Isn't that what we've been asking for months and months now? Now, I'm 57 years old, and she says, oh, well, you couldn't handle it. I'm like, oh, but you can. Yeah, because you're so tough. My opinion, she's one of them. She's a narcissist. She's part of the system. This is someone I know. This isn't a Congress member. This isn't a senator. Nothing like that. But they're on every level. And I'm just looking at this person like, what? Like, what are you smoking? So you're telling people not to post anything about this anymore on your page, and to let the adults take care of it, and let the police and firemen take care of it. And the rest of you just go back to sleep, and you just let us take care of this. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, does that not sound narcissistic? Like, hey, go back to sleep, ignore it, look the other way, look away, you don't see what you see, look the other way, you don't need to see it, let us deal with it, we'll take care of it. Yeah, because the people in charge have done such a great job. I mean, you've been so trustworthy and honest about everything. Not. It's just mind-blowing. So, in my opinion right now, I think she's a full-on narcissist, and I've completely wrote her off. I mean, this has been national news for a long time now, and she's saying, hey, just act like it's not there. She literally goes, just go back to your daily lives and just live your lives, go to work and do, it's like, well, who the fuck are you? In my opinion, anyone who says look the other way, act like you don't see what you see, that's Narcissist 101 right there, baby. I'm going to give you some advice. Take it or leave it, that's fine. So here's the deal. One thing I've really learned, to stop trusting people because of anything. Here's what I mean. Just because she's an American, just because she's a Christian American, just because she's a Christian Republican American, do not trust her. I don't care what they are. I don't care if they're left, right, in the middle, or center. There are narcissists embedded everywhere. Instead, think for yourself. What do you think about this situation when someone says, "Hey, let us take care of it. We'll deal with it. Just act like you don't worry your pretty little head over this. It's too much for you to handle. Yeah, they just voted to block the release of it because they're protecting themselves. Oh, I trust that for sure." My point is, start thinking for yourself. Like, what do you think? Like, how does this make you feel? I'll tell you one thing. I don't care I don't care if it's a police officer. I don't care if it's a Christian. I don't care who it is. I don't trust anybody. I watch what they do. I listen to what they do. I pay attention to what they do. And that is what I judge things by. One of the last narcissists I dealt with last year, about 4, 5, 6 months ago, something like that, is one day he's saying, "Well, you don't actually believe in that stuff, do you?" I go, "What stuff?" He goes, "Well, God and Jesus and heaven and angels." I'm like, "Oh, absolutely. I absolutely believe in God, 100%. Really? I mean, come on, I can't prove it." And he's saying all this stuff to me, right? And I just said, "Man, you really should open up the Bible. You should start to pray." And he just, I walked away. About a month later, maybe it was a little more than that, I forget how the conversation started. I think he was telling someone else how he's this devout Catholic, how he goes to church every Sunday. And I'm like, "You?" Now, I did this on purpose because at this point I realized this guy's a narcissist. I go, "You, the guy who told me that you don't believe in God, and you looked at me, tried to make fun of me, saying, 'Well, you don't actually believe in that stuff, do you?'" And he goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I go, "So which is it? Do you believe or not?" And he just got really quiet. He just literally wouldn't engage in the conversation anymore. My message: stop trusting people just because they're this or that. They're Catholic, they're Christian, they're Buddhist. Stop doing that. Stop. Pay attention to what they do. Pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to whether it's congruent, whether it matches up to what they say later on, or whether it doesn't. Start paying attention to that stuff. So here's the final piece to this video. Now, Candy, who's on this channel, she has shared a video with me on my Facebook page. Again, she's the only person I've allowed to be on my Facebook page. I'm pretty picky about that. Now, I think it was in my last video or the video before that I talked about how I'm really not trusting what's going on in the world. I don't really trust anyone. But it's a healthy... I don't mean go paranoid, like don't trust anyone, don't trust your grocer. I just mean like, pay attention to people. Don't just trust because they, "Oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic." That doesn't... I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't mean jack shit to me. It means zero. So just start paying attention is what I'm saying. It's probably a better way to say it. So Candy sent me a video which I liked, and it's something I heard of before. I wish I took notes from it so I could quote a little better. But essentially, it was saying there was something in the Bible, and I forget where it said it was in the Bible. But it was a video she sent me, and it says, "Hey, in the Bible, this is why God said this." So essentially, what this video is saying is like it's going to have to happen twice. And right now, we're going through the second one. The second one is essentially it's an act. It's like there's a bunch of actors and they're acting right now. So I'll give you a real solid example. A friend of mine, Julie, on my Facebook page, she posted something, said, "It's really weird. In the Epstein files, it says that Biden was killed," I think it said 2019 or 2021, something like that. And she goes, "That's really weird. Like, why would it say that?" And I'm like, well, because essentially this is what they're saying. Like, all these people have already been killed. They're already dead, all of them. Like, "What are you talking about, Mike? I just saw her live on national television today." No, you didn't. That was an actor. So essentially what they're saying is if they just released what had happened like really fast, a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle it, okay? So what they've been doing is they've been slowly releasing different pieces of all of this so we can handle it mentally. So another thing is President Trump continues to say, uses a phrase, they're straight out of central casting, meaning acting. Now there could be two different meanings. One is like, hey, these are a bunch of people that they're playing a role, they're wearing masks, like literal physical masks, or they've been cloned, or whatever. And then there's another one saying, right here says straight out of central casting to describe officials or politicians who physically match the image he believes fits their role. So I don't know how much you guys have been paying attention, but people over the last months, I think even years now, have been saying like, hey, this has already happened. All of these people are already dead. They've already been hung at Gitmo. They've already had this happen to them. They're dead. They're not here. They're like, what are you talking about? He just voted in Congress yesterday or the day before. He was interviewed 3 weeks ago on live national television. That's not the real person. So do I believe this? I don't know. Again, one of the things where I'm at right now because of the pain and because of I'm taking very little pain medication now, which it's been over 24 hours now since the last one I took. I just don't trust my intuition right now until I'm completely clean from everything, until the pain's lessened and all that good stuff. So right now you're probably getting more of an intellectual me, and my videos are probably different. The energy is probably different behind them. The other thing, I don't really know where to take this channel anymore. I really don't. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this channel because I'm in an in-between phase or stage. I don't know if I should just go full blast, like, hey, this is Narcissism 101. This, like what I just taught you guys earlier, like, hey, just because she's a Christian and a Republican doesn't mean I'm going to blindly trust her when she's sitting there saying, oh, let us take care of it. Let the police and firemen take care of it and let the government officials. Why? The government officials have been freaking lying to us for decades through their teeth. I mean, again, I don't mean to pick this person. It could be someone on the right, but this is the only person that was interviewed who just was on national television, just like about 24 to 36 hours ago, saying, oh, well, why don't they release the files? And they're fighting against it. Well, she's the one who voted against releasing the files. And you're like, what the hell's going on? And you're telling us, just trust them? Just trust the people in charge? Just trust the congressmen and congresswomen and just trust the people in government and just trust the police? Like, no. I'm not going to just blindly trust the police and turn and look the other way and act like it. See, when someone says some shit like that, I'm like, you're fucking in on it. So right now, I'm like, I don't know what to do with the channel. Like, should I go full blast into just saying, look, just point out all the narcissistic stuff, all the gaslighting, all, just and go full blast, emotional, passionate about it, or just be like, whatever. Or should I go back to the dating, relationship, communication stuff, the personal development, the healing aspect? I'm literally at a point where I don't know what to do with this channel. I don't know. Another option is I thought I'd just stop, just drop it, completely stop the channel. So right now everything is pretty much on hold. I may not post another video for a week, a day, a month, who knows. I really don't care until something comes to me where I get some kind of clarity. So for now, that's it. And tell me what you think about the subjects I've spoken about. And I'm at a really weird place. I'm very neutral on all this. I don't know what Let me tell you this. Here's what I think about voting. I think right now voting in this country is a complete crock. I don't think it's real at all. Not even a little tiny bit. I think it's a joke. Meaning, I don't think it gets counted. I think they've already chosen who they want in office, who's going to be in office. I think it's just one big acting class. Here's another thing I noticed. I figured this out, 25, 30 years ago. I was probably in my mid-20s when I figured it out. Have you ever noticed a lot of kids in high school who ran for class president, vice president, and all that stuff, they were actors? I noticed in college it was the same thing. I also noticed a lot of people in the Senate and Congress and the House, vice president, presidents, a lot of them were actors in high school and college. And some of them were actually professional, lifelong actors, i.e., President Ronald Reagan. And there's a litany of these people. And they may not have all been professional actors like in movies, but if you go back in their histories, like they took classes in acting for at least a few semesters in high school and college. And some of them had a pretty in-depth where they got up on stage for 3, 4, 5 years, even since they were in middle school or younger. And it's kind of odd, like why are all of our leaders, not all of them, but a lot of them took acting classes. And some of them that may never have gotten up on stage, they took acting lessons. So for right now, I honestly don't believe your vote counts. I think it's a joke. I don't think it counts. I really... Okay, so we've been... After the Epstein files were released and people kept saying, oh, well, they're gonna, and I was like, if they haven't done it this week, they're not going to do it. It's just getting dragged on and on and on and on. At this point, I think people are just holding on for dear hope. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happened. And until something happens, I give it no credit, no value, no anything. So I think what I've done is I'm not worrying about any of it. I'm not paying attention to any of it anymore until it makes a flip. And it may make a flip. Who knows? This whole thing may flip around in a week or 2 weeks or whatever, but I'm not going to be waiting for it. When it happens, awesome. If it happens, if not, well, this is just life. My positive way of looking at this is maybe it's being done this way on purpose to bring people together to see that look, not, this whole division thing, like blindly letting your side, oh, well, I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. Oh, well, I'm going to make an excuse for that. I think, or I would, okay, this is just me being positive. I'm not even saying this is what's going on, but it would be really cool if it was trying to get people to see through their own illusions and own lies, and they finally realize wow, we've been divided right down the middle. And it brings people together. That would be a beautiful thing. So I'm not going to put any energy, effort into it anymore. And if it happens, great. If not, oh well. Alright, that's it, guys. Bye.
When the world